This week's Parsha is a double Parsha of Mattot-Masei, and in it we read the phrase Vayal Haron HaKohen El Hohaha Al Pi Hashem Vayamat Sham. Aaron goes up Mount Hor and dies there at the word of God. And it carries on B'chodesh HaChamishi Be'echad L'chodesh, in the 5th month, on the 1st of the month. Rabbi Yehuda Greenspan, in his book Hiyuchacha Shel Torah, says that this is actually the only yahrzeit mentioned in the Torah. And I'm sitting in front of one of our shul's memorial boards with the yahrzeit of my dear grandparents, father and aunt. And it's appropriate that this yahrzeit is the first of Av. It's the beginning of the month of Av, the beginning of the 9 days. And Aaron, of course, was a lover of peace and a pursuer of peace, at a time when we know that on Tisha B'Av both the temples were destroyed because of sinat chinam, baseless hatred, and the symmetry between hatred and the way back from hatred to seek peace amongst ourselves is to emulate the life of Aaron HaKohen in his pursuit of peace. Now, in the same book, there is a well-known story told that I think also fits nicely with this period of the year. Several versions are told, but the one I liked the best was that two people are arguing over who owns a piece of land adjacent to their fields, and eventually they come in front of Reb Chaim of Volozhin, the famous head of the famous yeshiva in Volozhin, and they state their cases, and he hears both parties. And then he says, you know what, I'd actually like to go and see the ground we're actually talking about. So Reb Chaim goes with the two claimants to the field, and they get to the field. And Reb Chaim gets down on his hands and knees and puts his ear to the ground. The two claimants are looking at him astonished and saying, Reb Chaim, what on earth are you doing? And Reb Chaim looks up to them and he says, you know what, I've heard both of your sides of the argument. I'd like to see what the ground says. The two claimants are starting to laugh and say, it's ridiculous. What has the ground got to say about all this? Reb Chaim listens again very closely and then stands up and says, the ground says, I don't understand why these two people are arguing and getting so worked up and angry about this property, this piece of ground, because ultimately they are both going to belong to me. That sense of proportion